Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Bondi Snapshot. Well, here we are in the fabulous Gertrude and Alice, an absolute institution in the heart of Bondi. And today I'm very pleased to be interviewing Jane Turner, the founder of this wonderful cafe. Well, Jane, thank you so much for joining us on our Bondi Snapshot. It's absolutely a pleasure to be here at Gertrude and Alice.
Thank you very much, you're welcome.
Can you tell us how you started and what was the idea behind it?
We were working in a second-hand bookshop in Glebe and I met a girl there who had cafe experience, and I came from a publishing background, and we just thought let's do something together and came up with this idea.
And it's certainly become an absolute community hub, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I think it's the thing I'm most proudest of, really, that it's a very community-based cafe. And I'm born and bred Bondi girl, went to school here and grew up here. And I think Bondi sort of lost its way there for a little while. And it became a bit soulless, and I think it's definitely found its way back.
Isn't that fantastic?
It is
just wonderful.
Yeah.
And you've had some amazing events.
Yeah, we've had some funny nights. Usually we just do it for local authors. So I think the one you came to was Glenn Orgius, who had lost his arm in the shark attack down at Bondi and had written a book about that. I think one of my favourites was the wine and the literary muse, where we had a wine tasting in line with some of the very famous writers that were fueled by alcohol. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And of course you've had Samantha X, who's another famous Bondi local.
I think Lisa Messenger has done another one, which
fantastic.
Mia Friedman has also done another one, which was, they're the ones that have just booked out really quickly. So
Jane, tell us, where did the name actually come from?
Well, that's a funny story. Lots of people ask that. But Gertrude Stein and Alice B. Toklas were a couple. They were Americans living in Paris in the 30s and very much ahead of their time. And it was a big thing to be invited to their home on a Saturday night for a soiree. And so, and there were a lot of struggling actors and writers and, lots of different eccentric type of people, and that turned out to be a lot of what our customer base was. So I just thought, it just rolled off your tongue, Gertrude and Alice.
So when you first started, Jane, about 15 years ago, obviously Hall Street back then, it was a little bit quieter than it is now.
Yeah.
And I guess over the last 5 years or so, we've seen the bohem development across here. Tell us how that's changed it for you.
Well, I think there was a lot of
trepidation.
Yes, and a lot of resistance to the development in Bondi. And as always, it's the unknown of what's going to happen, what changes will it bring. I mean, it drew everything back off Campbell Parade to me and made Hall Street quite an epicentre, whereas it had struggled with an identity for some time. It's lovely to sort of, have a lot of people on the streets again and talking to each other.
I'm the old-fashioned kind of reader. I love turning a page in a book as opposed to a Kindle, but we are in that digital era. What are the challenges, I suppose, and how do you see it growing as a bookstore?
I just find places without books to be really soulless. When we go into people's homes and they're full of books, it tells us a lot about a person. And but look, if I was going away, as you do a lot and read a lot when you're on holidays, I'd have no hesitation in loading up a Kindle rather than carrying. Well, I think you read 8 paperbacks your last trip. So in part, we've actually expanded our children's section because people don't want their kids reading on iPad or online all the time. So our children's book section has become a lot bigger in recent times.
Well, Jane, look, it's been absolutely wonderful. You can hear the hustle and bustle in the background. It truly is a neighbourhood destination for everyone in Bondi. I just want to say thank you for sharing your insights on Bondi and, of course, this wonderful cafe. It's one of my favourite places to come.
Thank you, Marianne. Thanks for your support.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us, and what a treat that was. Now, if you're local, I'm sure you've been down here to Gertrude and Alice, but if you haven't, take the time. Come down and connect with your local community and come in and ask Jane for a great book to read. See you next time.